Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I have something really exciting I'd like to share with you. But before I get into my topic for today, this is Ruby L. Thomas. Thank you for joining me. Please subscribe. If you are subscribing now, I appreciate you. Please share and tell a friend. These videos are all about HUMP, Hope, Uplifting Motivational Prayer. When I came to you, my first video, I believe, was done on April the 1st. And when I came April the 1st, I said I would be referring to scripture. Sometimes I'd be referring to a poem, different literature. Whatever the case may be, we want to keep it positive. We want to maintain our hope. Hope not in ourselves, but something far greater than ourselves, and that's believing in God and knowing that with Him all things are possible. I also have an email. Please feel free to email me at riseforward2020@gmail.com, and I'll spell it out. It is all lowercase. riseforward2020@gmail.com. So let's get started. Before you base any opinion or judgment about the point that I'm going to read, it's very important for you to have an open mind, open heart, and an open spirit. I will be reading this poem from the beginning at the top. Then I'm going to read it again, starting at the bottom. I want you to have an open mind and listen to what I'm reading to you. The first part of the poem is called Pretty. Pretty ugly. Here's ugly. I'm very ugly, so don't try to convince me that I'm a very beautiful person, because at the end of the day, I hate myself in every single way. And I'm not going to lie to myself by saying there's beauty inside of me that matters. So rest assured, I will remind myself that I am a worthless, terrible person. And nothing you say will make me believe I still deserve love. Because no matter what, I am not good enough to be loved. I am in no position to believe that beauty does exist within me. Because when I look in the mirror, I always think, am I as ugly as people say? I'm going to read the same poem again, and this time I'm going to read it from the bottom to the top, bottom up. And it reads, am I as ugly as people say? Because whenever I look in the mirror, I always think beauty does exist within me. And I am in no position to believe that I am not good enough to be loved. Because no matter what, I still deserve love. And nothing you say will make me believe that I am a worthless, terrible person. So rest assured, I will remind myself that there is beauty inside of me that matters. And I'm not going to lie to myself by saying I hate myself in every single way, because at the end of the day, I am a very beautiful person. So don't try to convince me that I'm very ugly. This is a poem that I love. I read this poem to a group about a year ago. And when I first started off, I didn't preface it with anything. I just read it. And the looks that I received I could not put into words. Who would ever think to say to themselves out loud that I am an ugly person? So no matter what society is throwing at you, no matter what you have been through, know that God sees the beauty in all of us. God sees the beauty in all of us. Now think about when I read it. When I first read it, describing ugly, I was downcast. My spirit was low. And I did that, of course, intentionally to give you the feeling and effect of it, and hopefully you felt that. But when I read it again, I'm beautiful. I'm pretty. No one can ever tell me anything different about myself. Think about the internal and the external. I don't care what society sees on the outside. What matters to me is that God knows what is in the inside. God knows us internally, for He made us. Society does not dictate or determine who we are or what we are and how far we're going. God made us, and He made everything, His children, His creatures, to be beautiful. We are all beautiful in the sight of God. Internally, the makeup, the hair, whatever it may be, that doesn't count to God. He knows the intentions of our heart. So each day, live with intentions. Each day, live with purpose. Each day, knowing that you are worthy and your beauty is not determined by man. Your beauty is not determined by society. Your beauty is not determined by social media or how many likes you get or thumbs up or how many hearts you get. It's not determined by that. Because at the end of the day, you know and we know who we are inside internally. And more importantly, God knows. I'm going to paraphrase and give you just a little bit of the story of Leah, Rachel and Leah. Rachel and Leah are introduced to us in the book of Genesis, where Jacob, decides, the first time he takes a look at Rachel, he realizes that she's beautiful. And the Bible describes her as being a beautiful woman, a beautiful woman, someone who was beauty of form. And then he also describes his sister Leah, who was the older sister, and we don't find her to be too favorable. We don't find her to be too favorable, and perhaps there's something wrong with her genetically when it comes to her eyesight. So it doesn't really give us a big description, but we can sort of surmise, and again, I'm paraphrasing, that Jacob fell in love with Rachel, the beautiful, beautiful Rachel, who was the younger sister to Leah. Traditionally, when the sisters are to be married, it will always be the older sister to get married first. And Jacob's like, well, no, not really. I'm more interested in the younger sister. She's a cute one. So let me just, have her and I'll be on my way. But Laban, his uncle, says, no, at the end of the day, it's tradition that the oldest gets married first, and the oldest being Leah, who was weak in the eye. So it reads, I'm going to pull this up for us. Leah was a good wife and mother, and some would say that what she lacked in beauty, she had internal beauty. So what she lacked externally, she had internal beauty, and God had favor upon her. God saw her heart and knew the intentions of her heart, right? She was blessed to have many sons, to give her husband many sons. And of course, she actually gave her husband Jacob a daughter as well. And Rachel, the beautiful one, the one he was so in love with, he being Jacob, he was so in love with, was barren. She was unable to give him children. And of course, we know by tradition and by standards, boys were more profitable and more valuable to the family, let's say, than, say, a daughter would be, or a young lady. A young lady traditionally would get married and leave the family, whereas a young man recognized in the family would be someone of strength to bring value to the family, who would bring on the family name and legacy. And that was extremely important. And for some cultures, we know extremely important today. So what is my point? I'm not going to tell you the whole story. You can find it in the book of Genesis, but and I'll put it in my notes section as well. The point that I want to drive home is the beauty that we have inside of us, and where it's not dictated or determined by society. God made everything good, and we are His children. We are His children, and He loves us, and He made us good too. I want to read this to you again. And I will definitely make sure that I give a shout out to the author of this poem, which is only fair, Abdullah Shoaib. Abdullah Shoaib is the author of this poem, Pretty Ugly, Ugly Pretty. It reads, I'm very ugly, so don't try to convince me that I'm a very beautiful person. Because at the end of the day, I hate myself in every single way. And I'm not going to lie to myself by saying there's beauty inside of me that matters. So rest assured, I will remind myself that I'm a worthless, terrible person, and nothing you say will make me believe I still deserve love. Because no matter what, I'm not good enough to be loved, and I am in no position to believe that beauty does exist within me. Because whenever I look in the mirror, I always think, am I as ugly as people say? Am I as ugly as people say? Because whenever I look in the mirror, I always think beauty does exist within me. And I am in no position to believe that I am not good enough to be loved. Because no matter what, I still deserve love. And nothing you say will make me believe that I'm a worthless, terrible person. So rest assured, I will remind myself There is beauty inside of me that matters. And I'm not going to lie to myself by saying I hate myself in every single way. Because at the end of the day, I am a very beautiful person. So don't try to convince me that I'm very ugly. So when you think about this point, sometimes we may be feeling down and feeling in the dumps, but know that God made everything good. And God made you. He made me. He made us. What we look like and who we are externally is not important to God. Society will put limits on us, and we understand that. Society will say the more hair, the more makeup, the more eyelashes, whatever the case may be, the more fit we are, whatever the case may be, the more money we have, whatever the degrees that we may have. But God looks at the inside of his children. He looks at our hearts. He looks at the intentions of our heart. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you for allowing me to come to you. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate your support. Remember to hump. Hope, Uplifting Motivational Prayer. My blog is almost done. I'm excited. I'm putting some final touches on my blog, and I'm looking forward to introducing that to you all very, very soon. You know that you can reach through me by going to riseforward2020@gmail.com. Give me your comments. Give me your thumbs up, whatever the case may be. Always select the alert, the bell. I'll give you a notification each time I upload a new video. Have a great day. Have a great evening. Have a great everything. Mwah. Smooches. Bye-bye.